Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Melissa A. That rhymes. Thank you so much for your support, Melissa. You're awesome. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, yesterday got a little bit wild right at the end. It was looking like the votes might flip in Cass's favor, which would mean that Jackie would be going home. And then the feeds went down for 4 hours, and we have no idea what happened during that time. I don't know if they had some sort of challenge or what. I think there was a challenge this week that had to do with the Toyota sponsorship, but I don't know if that was yesterday's feed outage or a different feed outage, because there's a feed outage like every day. But anyway, where are we now? We need to figure that out, Justin Bieber. He's Canadian. So Gary and Karen were talking about the vote, and Gary is really tired of voting out people who would keep him safe. Week 1, they got rid of Mark. Week 2, they got rid of Dallas, and now they're about to potentially get rid of Cass, and he feels like he'd be safe with her. So he's just like, why are we doing this? And Karen is starting to wonder, did Cass actually throw her and Jackie under the bus before nominations? Karen is a dog with a damn bone right now. And that bone is this conversation that Cass had with Netta, where she did, in fact, throw Jackie and Karen under the bus. So she's like, I don't know, do you think that she really did that, or what? Can we trust Netta? And of course, Gary says no, because Gary and Netta are like, so Gary's like, you know what, it doesn't matter anyway, because we would need Dimitri's vote to flip this, and he's not budging. So Gary's feeling pretty annoyed with himself at this point because he did what he was planning on not doing, what he didn't want to do. What? He did not want to go into this sticking his neck out for people, campaigning for people to stay, especially this early. So he's upset that he went out on a limb for Cass and potentially exposed himself, and she's not even going to stay this week. So he's feeling pretty crappy about that. Alright, so then Gary, Karen, Dre, and Ika were in the bathroom, and they're still talking about potentially keeping Cass this week. And it seems like Ika is just stringing them along. The night before, or no, that was the same day, sorry. Yesterday, it actually did seem like there was a chance that Ika was going to flip because we didn't get to see her, like, talk to any of her other Alliance members from the 6 yet. So, like, we didn't know where her head was really at. But, like, no, she's totally stringing them along. And you could tell just by what she did in this conversation, too, because they kept asking Ika, like, what do you think? What do you think? Should we keep her? And Ika's like, I don't know. What do you guys think? She kept asking Gary, what do you think? And Gary's like, I am drained. And also, he doesn't want to be the one leading this charge. And again, he does not want to be sticking his neck out for people. He doesn't want it to look like he is the leader of this group, because if he was, eventually, alright, not only does he have the other side coming after him, but usually there's like a mutiny and his own people would be like, we need to get rid of him. So he doesn't want that. He's not about that. But Gary brings up Dimitri's not budging on this issue of keeping Cass, and he's like, maybe that's because he's being influenced by other people. Oh, shit! So Gary is saying that Dimitri's is really close with Bruno and Kevin, and he's like, Ika, do you think we can trust him? Like, what's the deal here? I think this was a really big mistake for Gary to bring up in front of Ika. But he tells her, like, you better not tell Dimitri's stuff anymore because we don't know if we can trust him at this point. He doesn't realize that Ika is in with Kevin and Bruno and all of them, too. Alright, so then Ika leaves, and Karen tells Gary, I don't think Ika and Dimitri's are with us 100%. You think? And Gary's like, yeah, I think Dimitri's gonna go to the other side and take Ika with him. Okay. So then there was a little bit of a break from all the game talk and everything. Kevin has been leading Bible study lately. Everybody seems really into it, except for, oh my God. Karen was like talking to herself in the bathroom. She like set up shop in this one corner of the bathroom, and she's there all the time. And she was talking to herself and the live feeders, and she was just like, I don't like that Kevin Martin. I don't need to hear his Bible stories. I've heard them all already. I don't need to hear them from him. It was just really funny. But anyway, Karen, from her corner in the bathroom, had a conversation with Netta, And she's freaking telling on people, man. She's all like, teacher, this one said this. So she doesn't want to become a target just because Dre and Gary are campaigning for Cass to stay. Or at least that's what she's saying to Netta. She feels like it's like last week when Cass was trying to keep Dallas and then the target was on her for doing that. Now she's feeling like these two are campaigning for Cass and that's going to get the target on her. But then again, Karen always thinks that the target's on her. So this is just more fuel for the Netta versus Dre fire. This is just what Netta wanted to hear because she needs more and more reasons to go after Dre in the future. So Netta's telling her, like, look, your vote, it's your decision, but if you flip and vote to evict Jackie, you're going to be on the wrong side of the vote, and then you'll definitely be a target. And Karen's like, I know, that's what I've been saying all week. So then Karen also brings up how Dre, when she was campaigning for Cass, asked her, are you playing your own game or are you playing Netta's game? More fuel for the fire. So then they also discussed that infamous conversation between Cass and Netta before nominations, and Karen wants to know, did Cass actually throw myself and Jackie under the bus? And Netta says, yes, that happened. Like, do you honestly think that I would lie about that? Like, and she actually said, like, I'm a way better liar than that. If I was lying about it, I would have said that Cass threw, like, Dre under the bus or something to drive a wedge between those two. But she's like, no, that really happened. You can't trust Cass. All right, so then this is the conversation we've been waiting for to find out where Ica is actually standing right now. So she was talking to Bruno. She lets him in on what's been going on. She's like, we can't trust Gary. He's trying to save Cass. But she tells him, like, the numbers are not there because they would need my vote and Dimitri's vote, and that's not going to happen. So she also tells Bruno, Gary's been throwing around your name and Kevin's name, so we should go after him. And Bruno's like, yeah. And she also lets him know there's been a lot of talk amongst the others, meaning not the Six Alliance, or Emily and Dylan, I guess, that Bruno is in an alliance with Kevin, Netta, Emily, and Dylan. And that is true. The alliance is called Black and Saints. It's for real. But Bruno's just like, what? That fake thing? Psh. I'm pretty sure they've been telling Ica that they've got something going with Emily and Dylan, but that it's like a fake alliance. And they definitely did not tell her the name because that would freak her out. All right. So then Ica let Dimitri's know what Gary was saying about him and how he was saying you can't trust him. He's in with Bruno and Kevin, etc., etc. And Dimitri's is just like, wow, we can't trust Gary, can we? So Gary is like really in a bad spot for next week. But yeah, they agree they're voting Cass out. Like, it's a done deal. So then Cass was talking votes a little while later with Karen and Dimitri's. She feels like she's got Karen still at this point. She knows she needs to flip Dimitri's. She doesn't realize she needs to flip basically everyone, but you know how it is. So Cass is like, all right, everybody's confirmed their votes with me. Like, I'm just waiting on you, basically. And Dimitri's is like, yeah, but how do you know they're being honest with you? How do you know they're not just saying they're going to vote for you so you'll leave them alone? So, I mean, they talk a little bit more. Dimitri's listens to her whole spiel, but then Cass leaves, and Karen's just like, she's going home. She's like, we can't afford to be on the wrong side of the house on this vote. And, you know, if we are, we're going to become targets. And then Karen's like, are you hearing my name? And sorry, not Kevin. Dimitri's just like, no. So then Karen, she's still worried that Cass's campaigning is making her a target just because she's involved with all those conversations. Karen, it's going to be okay. All right, so then Dre was chatting with Ica and Dimitri's, and Dre is like, all right, it's official. I'm done with the whole Cass thing. I'm not going to vote to keep her. Let's just, like, put this to bed. So Ica's like, okay, good. So they're trying to figure out if/when they're going to tell the others that they're voting Cass out. And Dre's like, honestly, like, it would kind of be hilarious if we all told Gary that we were voting for Cass to stay, and then we didn't, and then he was the only one. Because she's got this whole vendetta against Gary now because he freaking threw her under the bus, and he told Netta that she was campaigning for Cass to stay. So she's just like, I'm done with him. He betrayed me. And Ika's like, yeah, I'm done with him too. He can't be trusted. But I don't think they're leaving him in the dark on this vote. So then Cass tried one more time again with Dimitri's last night. This time it was one-on-one. It was the same stuff. And again, he listened to what she had to say, but he was non-committal. He's just like, I'll let you know. No. Alright, and then there was this one important conversation last night between Gary and Ika in the storage room. Gary's like, I feel like something has changed here. He was all wicked. Something has changed within me. He has noticed people are treating him differently. He feels like the blame has sort of shifted from Dre to himself for the whole campaigning for Cass thing. I mean, they're both definitely responsible, but he worked really hard to get that target on Dre. But now it's coming back to him full force. So Ika's just like, I haven't heard your name. Oh shit! Okay, so they finally agree after a little more discussion that they're voting out Cass this week. And Gary's like, I'm sick of like trying to get this girl to stay. It's not happening. So he wants to try to use this opportunity to show Netta that he's loyal because he's giving up his #1 for her this week. I don't think there's any mending that bridge. But anyway, Ika was kind of trolling him. She was like, I did all that work today campaigning to Dimitri's and now you're saying that you don't want to keep her? Like, what the hell? It's so messed up. Alright, so this morning, not that much happening before the feeds went down. We know that Cass is definitely going tonight. But they're not going to tell her until right before, if at all. And they were straight up lying to her face right before the feeds went off. Ika was like, oh yeah, Dimitri's told me that he's fine and he'll do whatever with the vote. And then Cass was like, oh my god, yes, thank you, thanks so much. I'll totally be good next week. It's fine. I feel kind of bad for her. I mean, it's just really sad to see somebody get blindsided like that. I mean, maybe they'll tell her before, but I don't know. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who are you rooting for HOH? And what the hell is this backwards week all about? I mean, really, what is going to happen here? A lot of people were worried or like excited also that it could be saving Cass, but I think I saw on Twitter that Arissa was like, I believe I said it starts next week because somebody was like sassing her about it. Yeah, so I guess it's gonna come into effect after the eviction, but I'm excited to see what it's all about, and until tomorrow, much love.